Love you.
Peach apricot, the passion fruit, grapefruit, watermelon. Actually, they're all fucking good. It just really depends on what kind of fruit flavor profile you like in your fruits.
Nick, I'm heavily overwhelmed by the fact I just realized that I can buy vape juice online. Like I started having my heart's racing. Oh, bad. I'm not taking my keys, so don't lock me up. You won't be locked out. There's a spare key. Not outside anymore. Oh yeah, shit. You're screwed. Just wave at the window. I'll let you know what time I end the podcast so I can let you in. Ah, much better. All right, Nick, how you feeling?
Good.
Who's hosting?
You.
I hosted last week though. Okay, I'll host. No, you much like I listed on my tax forms, you are suffering a time of hardship, so I will exempt you from your hosting duties. I'm actually proud of myself for doing the show notes for fucking once. And as Nick muted himself to do some kind of it looked like a yelp, like he turned his head up and go, or something like that. You're still muted if you're trying to say something. Ooh, it's getting a little in here. Let's see. I'm going to open up Roll20. The Dungeons and Dragons site. Join a game. Oh, let me sign in. There we go. That way I can look at my character sheet. Just in case I decided to start talking about my character. Who the fuck? Okay, so Nick, quick reference here.
Yep.
Look, 2 weeks ago exactly, I had a Dungeons and Dragons one-shot game.
Okay.
We had fairly interesting characters, mostly normal. I was told a couple of them are going to roll some new characters, which is fine. I'm concerned because one of the new characters is called Honey the Giant Honey Badger. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I guess we have a giant honey badger for a party member now. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Okay.
Well, you know, honey badgers don't take no shit and they'll fuck shit up, so.
Yeah, they will. Oh, I'd love to look at the character sheet on that. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain. With the same exact tone, voice, and like inflection. Carry on, Captain.
Who never had fun and spent time in my life? Amanda, also known as my dad. Threatened me one time with a big butter knife. Amanda, also known as my dad.
You're really testing the limits of your marriage, aren't you?
Oh, she's gone. I'm good. I think. Yeah, her car's gone. I'm good. Yeah, took me somewhere one time so I could fish. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. So you get everything.
Thanks for noticing my haircut, by the way. And my beard trim. Thanks. Appreciate it. Makes me feel good. People notice these things.
You didn't notice any of the times I had a haircut.
Tyler, you have very little hair to begin with.
Ooh. Okay.
Usually keep a nice, clean, like, look.
Nice, clean as I'm shaggy as shit right now. I did trim off some hair off of this finger here. Okay. You look good, Nick. For the audio listeners, he has a very nice haircut. He's well groomed. He's fit for a wedding. Maybe his wedding. Actually, no, my mother was married already to my father. Are you married to my wife?
I can neither confirm nor deny these accusations.
It'd be great if I started the podcast and this is my mother over in the corner. Ah, shit. No, don't do that. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Casual Master Quest. This is March 11th. We are going to be doing episode 42 just for you, and I promise you we're going to have a good show coming up to you tonight. I'm your host, of course, Tyler Vidito, but let us not forget the beautiful, wonderful co-host over there, my partner, Nick. Nick, what's the life looking like over on your end, buddy?
Pretty stressful, but good. Otherwise, I'm here. We're recording.
We are. This is our therapeutic session where we can bemoan about our life's problems, but then try to cover that up with the fact that we have addictions to video game lifestyles.
I know not. See, it's only an addiction when there's a problem. Is there a problem, Tyler?
I see no problem here.
So we're good. I think we're fine.
Okay, fine. Then we cover up with our beautiful lifestyles that is luxurious, beneficial, and according to some study somebody made up, it helps us in the long run. Of course, man, it's changing. It's been like a rapid whirlwind of stuff that's been going on in our lives. Nick, how's it going on your end? Last I heard, you had some trouble. You're looking for a new place. Potentially somebody might have tried giving you some trouble with your school project. What's going on here, man?
So with the school project, we had for one of our projects, because I'm in 4 project groups, we were working with somebody outside of the group to help us with a few things to finish with the project. This was allowed according to project specifications.
Okay, because that sounds like cheating, but you know, what do I know? When the power of money will solve your problems.
So the course is called project management, and so we had to start a project and finish a project, and that included getting all the pieces together, be it external or internal. And so hiring somebody to do a particular part of the project, as long as we had clear rationale. And when I talk about a particular part of the project, I'm not talking about planning or executing. I'm talking about making certain videos for a product that we wanted to deliver, and so that was allowed.
Work.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he decided to dip because we weren't moving at a pace that we said we would for him, which I understand. We were moving a little bit slower than expected. But for one part of our, was that on my end?
That was 100% on your end. It sounds like the cheat police have come in to give Nick some trouble over in the background.
No, with all the snow, we've been having ambulances and police cars just rushing up and down this main street here. So yeah, we were working with somebody who was going to make videos for products that we were delivering to different clients. And he backed out at the last minute because we weren't moving at a pace that he wanted. And I understand that, except for the fact that at least one of the videos we'd made plans about 2 weeks ago. Like we'd made plans. We'd already planned we were going to do it. There was 2 weeks of time that he knew, 2 weeks ahead of time that he knew that we were going to do that. And then he just backed out the day before. And the moment somebody in any kind of project where we have an objective goal to complete says, I'm not doing this, I'm not interested, so close to a deadline or an event that we've previously planned.
Yeah, that can be fatal.
Immediately they become irrelevant to me. They're dead. Immediately I stopped caring. So the moment the guy put in the group chat that I don't know if I want to do this, I blocked him out from my like now I'm.
I thought you like literally. Well, I mean, I would have just blocked him.
I just started filtering his mess. I just started filtering his messages, and then immediately I started going to like disaster mode, like management mode. And I'm like, all right, I can source a camera from here. I can source a tripod from here. I can source a recorder from here. I can ask these people that I know. And so I was up till I think 3 a.m. that night, just talking to people and figuring things out. Went recorded. Now I have to produce, I have to film, edit, and put out 4 videos. So,
well, I mean, the nice thing about this is I believe in your resume, you are in fact a producer for Casual Master Quest. So you got that going. You got the experience, Nick. I'm so proud of you. Good luck.
and I was thinking, I was also a film director for a previous student project, so I do have some experience with this. One of my group members asked if he could help, and I'm like you could help, but it would probably be quicker for me because we only have about 2 weeks to get all of these done. So it'd probably be quicker if I were to do it all on my own rather than you learn and slow me down. So essentially now, on top of creating making these 4 videos, I also have to make and publish and deploy the website.
Oh boy.
And so I just told him, listen, fuck you guys. I didn't say that, but this is my inner voice at least. I'm going to do all of this. You guys take care of all the writing work and documentation. I really couldn't care at this point. So that's where we stand. And on top of that, I've got to deal with the other projects where we're making board games and then making a mechanical moving machine out of cardboard. And then on my last project.
So Labo.
Labo, but with laser cuts and wood.
Oh, I mean,
so it's pretty cool, but it's a lot of work. It really is. Anyways, so that's that. And when I spoke last week, I talked about looking for a place, and we found a place. We actually
Congrats, man! Good job.
So that means we won't have to worry about not having a place to stay at the end of the month, because the stress of moving is not as bad as the stress of worrying about whether I'm going to have a place. In my opinion, anyways. But now we saw a place the other day, me and my roommate, and now he wants to consider that when we've already been approved for a place. And so now within the next day or so, we have to get approved for the second place because we have to give the first place our response and sign the contract. Otherwise, we risk losing that place. And then what if we don't get approved for the second place?
So right now you got what you think is a good spot, but you see something that might be even better potentially?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens, but we have a place. So I think we're gonna have a place at the end. So that's really my week. I did my enrollment for my next semester for the summer, and there's a very good chance I will be headed to GuardianCon this year.
Ooh, good old GuardianCon.
And then I'm gonna start my. Year, though? I did go to GuardianCon last year, and I will probably visit again because I did make a lot of friends and a lot of connections and I would really like to see them because I spend a lot of time gaming with them now. So I will be able to confirm that in a few weeks, and that's around the time that I'll start pushing my GuardianCon spiel, albeit for a good cause.
Ah, yes. And if you don't like it, then you support cancer and all that stuff.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Man, I forgot about that. Good times.
But yeah, Tyler, that's that's been my week. How's your week been?
You still have that memorized?
A little bit, I think. I could probably figure it out.
And if you don't donate, you're a jerk.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Back when we were safe for work. Now I can use language that's a little bit more effective, a little bit more poignant.
Oh yeah. That was before we went to the naughty zone with clearly after was it Operation Nightclub?
I think it was Operation Nightclub.
We did fucking Operation Nightclub. I totally forgot about that, where we do half the episode was safe and the other half was just completely vulgar.
And then it was just like, it was not, that was fun, but it didn't work long term because it was kind of, we had to have 2 sets of scripts in our head when we're talking about things. Do you know what I mean? Like we had to have like a safe version, and then we were constantly worrying about, all right, when can I transition into the not safe for work version?
And the moment like I gave the countdown and showed it was okay to swear, we'd just start dropping F-bombs and all that shit, and then we'd never do it again for the rest of the episode. So it's nice to say fuck every now and then. Over at my end, my wife just came back over here. She was out of town for about 3 days or so to go do a fun project over in Traverse City for the Native American Critical event. It's a meetup that happens, I believe, once a year, if not a little bit more often, where everybody groups up that's been participating, and we do a lot of discussion. But enough about her. More importantly, about me. I've been the champion of the house, and I discovered what it's like to live by myself, and it's kind of horrifying. So,
in what way?
Well, it means I had to let the dog out myself every single time, or risk having him crap on the floor, which is never good. It was I had to deal with the cats, who demanded food 24/7, but I had to remember that they only get food at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And that can be rough as well, because I had to get up at 6 a.m. I could easily have been in bed at that point. Had to make sure to feed the fish, and also food doesn't cook itself. It's kind of weird. It's like I throw it in the microwave, and it's like, why isn't this heating up? And it's like I'm trying to eat my my bread. Is supposed to be toast. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Now it's just hot mushy bread. Ugh. I don't know how to cook that well. Thankfully, she left me some meatloaf, so I had to eat it like rations,
Right.
like a high quality meal ready to eat. But she did come back. I cleaned out the house, cleaned up the house a little bit, so it looks a little bit nicer. That way, she didn't come back and just see me.
Cleaned out the house. She was gone for like 4 days, and then she comes back to an empty house and a different family living there, just moving in.
You're my new family now. I mean, I did clean out a lot of shit. There, all that Goodwill stuff that came in, I had so many damn cardboard boxes.
Right.
One of them, that was a smart idea on them for like recycling / reusing as I throw it away. But they took a cardboard box and shredded it up, and they used that as like a protective layer around the product in question. I thought it was pretty cool. It was a smart idea. Good job, cool. Goodwill. Yeah. And speaking of Goodwill, I have all the items in the house. You cannot see it, Nick, but over on the fish tank, I have an ominous black object sitting on top that is now my Amazon Echo. I haven't tried it yet. It's not connecting to the internet. I want to try this. Hey, Alexa. It glowed red. You can find setup instructions in the help section of your Alexa app. Hey, ears. So now that we're a part of the government watch program, I got to be careful what I say. Blackstone, president. I'm sorry, Nick. I just got a show blacklisted. I also am now a proud owner of my first Microsoft console, and wow, since about 9th grade. So it's weird. I now own a 360. Hey. When it showed up, it didn't have a power supply, which was a big red flag. And I was like, okay, I bought this thing for $30. How much can a power supply be nowadays? And got a power supply for $27. And so I doubled the price with that little problem alone. I also discovered I don't have any AA batteries in the house because the 360 uses AA batteries, and I'm ripping out batteries from my clock and shit. And so I got everything going, got everything hooked up finally after everything showed up. And I played a certain game called Halo 3 ODST, which we'll talk about later. It is really bare bones. I didn't realize how like limited the Xbox 360 was when it came to a lot of their stuff. Like the PlayStation 3, I had the crossbars and all that stuff, and it felt kind of vacant, but it was still pretty chopped full. I was really appreciative of it. But the 360 just feels barren. Also, there's a lot of advertising for stuff that isn't for the Xbox on there. It's like right on the screen. It's disgusting. But lastly, tonight, I say it's Monday the 11th, but in reality, it's Saturday for us. It's Monday for you, hopefully, or later. You're choosing. I'm doing a Dungeons and Dragons thing again tonight, Nick. Ooh. And I'm playing a bard.
Are you playing a bard?
I'm playing a half-elf bard, and it's weird because
what's the other half?
Let's see, it's half human, half drow, which is technically dark elf.
Okay.
So a lot of half drows depicted like that. They're usually white hair, black skin. I decided to do the opposite: is pale white skin, black hair. So she looks emo as shit.
Basically, Aldrin Sov.
Yeah, Actually, uh, wow, we're doing a lot of wild comparisons. I compared my wife to my father, compared you to my mother, comparing my character to a brother, technically. Well, not my brother, but you know, details. Big brother. And yeah, 2 weeks ago I played with her, had a little fun. Problem is though, he gave us all level 1, so I didn't have too much to mess with at the time. We are now level 3, so I got a lot of fun things I can mess with. I'm a big fan of minor illusion, just making small things happen. Like you can create a sound or an image of some sort. So
Right.
if I wanted to, it's a cantrip, which means I can cast it at will as many times as I want. I could just keep spamming somebody ripping ass as they're walking around. I'm like, Jesus, dude, you got to cut that out. And eventually get kicked from the party. But now I got more shit I can mess with, and I'm hoping to have a lot of fun with it. And that's going to happen tonight. I was really concerned, as I was telling you earlier, because we had a character die in the first run.
No.
And they resurrected him, but he doesn't want to play that character anymore. And so he's going to be playing a wood elf, but it looks like we have a character that's going to play a giant honey badger. I have no idea what the fuck that entails. Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, I was just thinking of it was just very, very minorly related, but like Full Metal Alchemist, when you do like human transmutation, you more often don't bring back the person you're trying to transmute. So
yeah.
I'm like, they could have tried to resurrect him, but then he came back as something else.
A homunculi or something like that, or
something like that. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were getting ready to describe the scene with the little girl and the dog, and it's like, oh no.
We don't talk. Okay, we don't talk about that, Tyler. There's some things on the internet we just don't talk about after you've seen them once.
Oh man, it upsets me because I had to watch that scene in the original Full Metal Alchemist, but then when I watched the true proper version of Full Metal Alchemist, which is Brotherhood, of course, I had to see that fucking scene again, and just Daddy. And I was like, ah. For those,
it is one of the worst, but best scenes in any anime I've ever watched.
It is the most emotional scene I've seen in my younger days in anime. For those who don't know, father was an alchemist and tried to fuse his daughter with his dog, and the results is horrific. But let us not talk about that. That's pretty much been my week and my plans. I'm hoping to do some fun stuff. Got some big plans tonight. Man, it's gonna be a good one. I hope she gets. My wife is currently out going shopping because why not? She didn't want to sit here and listen to us chatter, and I'm hoping she got. I've never tried rosé wine before, Nick. Is that a difficult wine? Do you know? Is it a rare wine? Because I keep hearing people say, I'm drinking rosé tonight, and it's like, I want rosé. Well, that sounds. Is it
rosé is very much it's a lighter wine. It's more fruity wine. Doesn't hit as hard.
Okay, I'm okay with
this. It's more akin to like juice.
Oh, that sounds horrible. Is there alcohol in it?
Oh yeah, there is, but it's not like super sweet. But yeah, it's wine still.
Okay, I goofed up. I should have told her pink Moscato. Just go strong.
A rosé is a type of wine that incorporates some of the color from the grape skins, but not enough to qualify it as a red wine.
Would that make it a red Moscato at that point? Because if it's sweet, I feel like it would be a Moscato, but suppose it could go. I don't know what it would make it into a Chardonnay or
Well, it has its own. It has its own. Rosés are actually pretty expensive. They can come with varying sweetness levels, but more popularly, I think why they're more commonly why they're so popular with certain groups of people is because they can come still, semi-sparkling, or fully sparkling.
Wait, did you say it could be potentially expensive?
The good kind, yes.
I came for my debit card. Oh, it means I'm paying for that.
All right, good talk. Moving on.
I could say I'm a barefoot kind of guy. I'm okay with barefoot wine. I don't need anything expensive. Just tastes like wine, goes down the hatch.
It's okay. More. You can very commonly find rosé mixed with champagne. Yeah.
Okay. 2 weeks ago for my birthday, I ended up getting a sparkling wine, and It was okay. It wasn't really that majestic to me. I don't get it, honestly. And I don't like sparkling water. So I figured it was gonna be like that. Like I think the term is called spritzer when it comes
Right.
to sparkling wines. And it's okay. It's not, crazy dramatically good or anything like that, but it's tastes fine.
I
I
think
drink it. Just
I think spritzers are mixed, or not, like they don't come carbonated out of the bottle. I could be wrong
hmm.
about this. I think spritzers are it's like wine mixed with like 7 Up or Sprite.
Okay, so the carbonated wine that I'm talking about is different than a spritzer then. Okay, that makes sense. Well, there is in fact it's like a bubbly wine. I guess it's
Right,
not.
right.
It is bubbly mixed it carbonated, right? Or am I going off the wrong track
Well,
here?
no, I mean like champagne is essentially like carbonated wine.
Right.
It's just a different form of wine.
And also god awful. I haven't tasted a good champagne so far.
I had a good champagne once, but I don't remember where it was. It was while I was, in my on my travels somewhere around Europe.
Fun fact, the first time I ever drank in my life was a champagne in third grade, which would put me around the age of 8.
I had a
Uh,
Bullfrog, Red Bull, and vodka.
when you're 8?
No, but that was my
Oh,
first drink when I was
oh,
16, I
okay.
think.
Okay. I mean, if it makes you feel better, I got like it tasted awful to me, and I think it's what deterred me from drinking alcohol from a
Right.
very long time. Because 8 years old, I'm sipping on this. It was New Year's. We are celebrating New Year's,
Right.
and Dad's like, "Here, son." It was in fact my wife from the past. She was also like 6. Sorry, bad joke, bad inside joke. I keep calling my wife. You're just like my father. And I immediately threw it up. It was not pretty. So I think that's what's instilled to me. That's why I don't like champagne.
Right.
Because
No, I
also
understand that.
I'm a wet wine drinker. So dry wine, no, thank you, or dry beer. But let's stop talking about the alcoholism. Let's talk about video games, Nick.
Video games. I like video games. Do you like video games?
I love video games. If you don't mind, Nick, I would like to trail off my little 360 adventure here and go for
sure,
me
yeah.
just for a second. I know.
No, that's fine because and I will interject briefly. I love Halo. Halo 3 ODST is one of the more challenging Halos because you don't play as a Spartan. And also, there's a rumor going around that Master Chief Collection is going to come to PC in the next week. Or like it's going to be announced for PC in the next week. And if that
No
is
shit.
true, I will shit myself because I love Halo. I don't talk about it a lot because I haven't played it recently, but I love Halo. And Tyler, tell me about Halo 3 ODST.
Oh, just the way that we don't have any Halo games for the PC right now besides Halo Wars, and so that'd be thrilling.
On PC, you can download Forge.
True, and technically
and
there is a Halo Combat Evolved, the first one you could play on PC if you really wanted to. But
well, with
life will
Forge,
stop you.
some people are making like PvP modes, so you can experience what 60 FPS keyboard mouse Halo gunplay feels like. But it's not expansive, and there's not enough people playing it. So if the Master Chief Collection comes to PC, it's going to be huge.
Oh man, that'd be crazy. I wonder if that would splinter the Destiny fans. I mean, it was technically a Bungie, IP for a while until they split off from Microsoft. Or do you think it would focus more on the 343 games, which is, I believe, Halo 4 and everything beyond that?
Well, the Master Chief Collections is everything that Halo put out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and ODST. Yeah.
So one of the games that came with the Xbox 360, I believe I talked about it last week, was Halo 3 ODST, which was it orbital drop shock trooper, something like that, or something like that? I believe that's the right term. I watched my friend Brandon played this game way back in the day. Most specifically, online multiplayer was pretty cool. The idea of having different abilities, almost Apex style. One of us, you'd have I don't like. You couldn't move, but you're like invincible for a second. You could create mirages of yourself and stuff like that. Actually, that sounds really familiar. However, I didn't get to that part because I didn't have Xbox Gold Live, which I was not going to fork over for my 360. I'm sorry. Actually, I feel like it should be free at this point. I know you can get silver for free. And
Well, I think it's just the same Microsoft account. So if you have gold, it'll carry. You can use it on your Xbox One, I believe. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure ODST was Halo 3 PvP because Halo 3 ODST came out shortly after Halo 3, and it's kind of it's a story within the story of Halo 3.
Nick, I'm not gonna lie. I only played about 15 minutes or so just to test out my 360 and see what it would be like. What I got, I played the single player campaign for a little bit, was extremely horrific. It was terrible, Nick. I think it's because I'm used to the idea of if I press in the thumbstick, the character will run, or press a certain button, the character will run. I don't think you can run in Halo 3 ODST. You got this walking man heavy march that you can do like forever.
I don't remember. I played it so long ago, so I couldn't speak to that. But playing it on the 360 compared to games that you have played recently, Tyler, it's gonna feel dated. I think.
Yes,
just a little bit. And I believe the remasters are out for the Master Chief Collection, or is that only Halo 1 and 2? But it would look better on the Xbox One.
Absolutely. It looked pretty good on the 360 when I played it, but at the same time, the controls were so antiquated that it just felt very rough. The aiming schematic was not what I remember it to be, but at the same time, the last time I played a Halo game was well over 10 years ago. So honestly, actually 12 years ago when I last played a Halo game. So it was really deterring me from continuing. But at the same time, I'm always willing to give it another shot if you tell me that it's going to get better. However, I know you can't say that with a strong heart because I'm pretty sure you haven't played it in a while either, buddy.
Yeah, no, I haven't played in a while. And also what I strongly remember from the game is that because you don't play as a Spartan and you play as an ODST, soldier, you don't have the same shields, you don't have the same speed, you don't have the same power. So everything has been scaled up to be a little bit harder, if not more. So yeah, no, I remember it being a challenging game. Story wise, it was beautiful. It really is. Like the story of Halo, for the most part, is something else.
And then we got Locke, I believe it was his name, from Halo 5.
Yep, the last one, Halo 5 Guardians. That's what it's called.
Really, it's called. What's Halo 4 called? What's the subtitle for that?
It's just Halo 4.
So Halo 5 got a subtitle, but Halo 4 didn't?
Yeah.
Did Halo 3 get a subtitle?
No.
Halo 2 didn't. Halo 1 was called Combat. So why is the first and fifth one get us? Okay. You know what?
I don't know.
I can't question how Microsoft and 343 and Bungie works. I mean, I can, but it wouldn't go well.
I mean, all we know is that Halo 6 is called Halo Infinite now, and so we're just waiting for that.
Halo 3 ODST was Bungie's last Halo game, if I understand correctly. Does that sound right to you? Because I believe it was an ODST that they started putting posters that suggested like pictures of the concept of Destiny on it, kind of like a Easter egg of sorts.
I believe so. I think because ODST came after Halo 3 and Halo 4 was specifically by 343 Industries.
Okay. So speaking of the sequel to Halo 3 ODST, I guess the second sequel, you've been playing a lot of Destiny too, I'm sure.
Not as much as you have, I'm pretty sure. I think. Honestly, at this point, I've only put maybe 6 hours over the last week, 7 hours into Destiny 2, maybe spread across a few days.
I think I put no higher than 10 hours this week, but I've definitely been trying to work my way in. It's just, did I talk about this last week where I had purchased Destiny 2 on the PC for Forsaken? Because we all got it for free, but
all right, yeah, through Blizzard. Yeah, I believe you did talk about Destiny 2 last week.
And so it was really discouraging because there's a big event that's happening right now. I believe it's called Season of the Drifter, but is locked behind the annual pass.
Yep.
And there is so much good shit that's being offered by that I couldn't resist dropping another $35, which that is a hefty price to pay, but I feel like the payoff for me right now at this point will be very beneficial. One of the first benefits is they give you pretty much a what do you even call that, a gear boost quest where you can do 4 different things and lets you gear up to 640, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was called Power Surge bounties.
Yes,
that's what they were called. Yep.
And so I did that, and then now I'm able to have a little bit better gear instead of, I think I was at 503 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's a big boost. I'll be able to do most of the raids at least competently in terms of my power level up to a certain point. Like I'm sure the super latest one would give me some trouble. Plus, with the annual pass, it'll give me a lot of content I can access, such as the Black Armory and other stuff with the Drifter.
Well,
And,
you're basically raid ready for any of them. 640 is we only have the 5 raids, the 3 that came with the base game, Last Wish, and then Scourge of the Past. I haven't done Scourge of the Past, but 640 is, I think, more than enough to do it. People cleared it on the first day at 610, 612. So
okay, well, I still would like to at least get past 650. My goal, for some reason, is like 660, or if I can get 666, that'd be pretty cool because but yeah, Destiny 2. It's been okay. It's been fun. I'm still trying to get a cool pulse rifle, and I've been looking up certain weapons that I would want to get for both PvP and PvE. You, of course, gave me the list of sorts that I should be looking at. I really would like to get something like Ursula's gift or Ariel's gift, I believe it's called.
Uriel's gift is an auto rifle.
Well, I mean, what was a good pulse rifle that you recommended for me?
It was Go Figure and Bygones. Go Figure, Bygones, Right Side of Wrong. Those are all pretty solid. You'll start seeing a lot of Go Figures drop. Bygones, you play some Gambit, and then you can get a decent roll from the Drifter.
Now, those couldn't I also get those from whenever I was playing rewards from Shaxx?
No, from Shaxx, he drops specific loot, Crucible related loot.
Okay, so this is Gambit specific stuff. So if I wanted to get those weapons, I should be playing a lot of Gambit instead, correct?
Bygones is specific to Gambit. Go Figure and Right Side of Wrong. Right Side of Wrong is specific to certain lost sectors and spider bounties. Go Figures is just a world drop. You can get it from turning in bounties to, what's his name? The Cryptarch, Rahul. Or you can, I believe you could get it even from turning in weapon parts to Banshee, but I wouldn't recommend that because weapon parts can be useful. And really just finding legendary drops, you'll probably end up getting a Go Figure at some point.
Sure. I just got to keep playing. Thank God for Prime Ingrams and all that stuff. And let's see. Trying to think of anything else wild I've been playing. Really, other than that, it was just Terraria. I've been doing your basic bitch grinding for certain gear and stuff like that. Problem is, the wife and I haven't been playing together, so I can't get too far, or rather, I don't want to get too far. So I've been kind of holding myself back. Plus, this was a week where I was driving by myself, so I haven't been able to get my 3DS action going on at all this week. So, a fairly light week, but that's okay. I've been having fun. What about you, Nick?
So as we talked about, played some Destiny 2 over this past week. There was a new the new wave of content has come out, so gave that a little bit of a try, but I haven't had time for much. Played a little bit with some friends. The new Gambit game mode, Gambit Prime, which is a sweatier version, but it's only one round, and then you can take some of your rewards from there into an event or an activity called the Reckoning, where you can get some certain exclusive armor sets that allow you to play specific roles in Gambit Prime. So you can play the invader role, where you go in and invade, and if you have the full armor set, it gives you certain buffs. And you can play the collector, where you just go around collecting motes, and it allows you, I think the final or like the full armor set will allow you at some point to collect 20 motes instead of 15, and you can drop an even bigger blocker. You've got the Reaper, which is about killing and clearing ads. So just enemies.
So is that a thing? Because when I played Gambit, I was terrible with collecting, or rather keeping the motes, and I was really afraid of that. So I would love to simply shoot the enemies and let other people collect it, but I just felt like it looked bad on my stats when I did something like that.
I honestly, Gambit is not my favorite thing because there's lots of issues that plague Gambit, specifically around invades and heavy ammunition. At present, there's really nothing you can do against certain guns. You just have to be
Queenbreaker, right?
Yeah, that's been patched, so it's not as bad as it used to be. But like really, machine guns, grenade launchers, the Yotun, which is an exotic fusion rifle that goes in the secondary slot, fires a charged up bolt of fire that tracks you from wherever the fuck,
Oh, geez.
and it's a one hit kill, so you can't do anything about it. Weapons are already super weak against supers anyway, so if somebody comes in with a super, you either need to counter with a super, or
Hide at
just run.
spawn.
You just
Yeah.
run. So I have some issues regarding that, but Gambit Prime is a lot. It can be fun because it's focused on just one round, and if you're playing with people who know what they're doing, you can get a good system going. And the Reckoning is pretty fun. It's just this really crazy, simple PVE activity. You just go in, kill shit, and get rewards at the end.
Nice. Honestly, I remember back in the day, my favorite thing to do was when somebody was invading, just take out the sleeper simulator and just pop them.
Yeah.
But
That's
they could also do that to you, which was the bigger concern.
yeah, they don't do that anymore because Sleeper got some nerfs. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't. Gambit's not my favorite thing. I'm like I've mentioned this before. I'm mainly a PvP person, so I'll play it when I need to get certain gear. But beyond that, not for me. As long as people are having fun, I'm happy.
Good, because that's one of the things I need to do before the reset. Is I need to get my 5 matches in. I think I only got 2 in so far. It's just because I'm not happy with my weapons, and I know item levels don't scale in the normal Crucible thing.
Right.
But I still don't like the idea that I'm shooting a blue gun pulse rifle when I could be shooting, if I get an epic or an exotic version of that, it's going to have more benefits in terms of like the traits and all that stuff. So using a fucking pea shooter when I could be using something decent,
That's true. But with random rolls, sometimes blue guns are a lot better.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I still haven't looked into the world of what I want for god rolls. Like what makes an item a god roll? Don't answer that right now, please, because I know that's going to be that'd be a topic of the show level shit where everybody tunes out.
I was gonna say I can tell you more about that off, like when we're not recording, because that's it's pretty excessive for each kind of weapon and archetype.
There's got to be a button or a website where it's like, show me the god roll for this weapon.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Let's say if we got a where the fuck is Zer.com, then we got to say what the fuck is my godroll.com or something like that.
Well, we'll figure it out. Beyond Destiny, I've been playing some Overwatch and Apex to get my PvP fill. Overwatch was a mistake the moment I turned it on, because there's just something about Overwatch that bothers me start to finish right now. So I played a few games of competitive and then hopped off immediately, switched to Apex with some friends, and I'm really loving Apex. It's just the one thing that infuriates me the most about Apex is the constant crashing. The game just constantly crashes for no fucking reason.
Wait, which game? Oh, Apex Legends.
Yes. Yeah.
You thought Deceit was rough, but Apex something that's supposed to be polished. Yeah.
No, Apex crashes for no fucking reason, and I don't know why. It's not my RAM. I've got 16 gigs. It cannot be my graphics card. I'm playing at the lowest possible settings. I really don't know what it is. And so, I'll be in the middle of like a kill streak, or like we're in a top 2 situation, and then I crash. And it happened so many times the other day, and it was just upsetting because I really enjoy the game and I want to play it, but then if it keeps crashing like that, what do I do?
You uninstall, and then you pick another game that's really sweaty, like League of Legends.
But no, I'd rather play a game that constantly crashes. But beyond that, yeah, that's been my week. Slow week for games.
For the audio listeners, he says that looking down, but he does like a split second look up at the camera or at the screen just to see what my reaction is. You have a tell, Nick. It's interesting. No, that you and your little witty commentary there. Oh, you're so funny. I was playing League of Legends too. If we're going to talk about games I played this week, played a lot of ARF. What's it called? I don't even know how you ARURF. I know ultra rapid fire. Oh, all random ultra rapid fire. Pardon me. I think that's pretty much it for games this week, Nick. That we've been playing ourselves, but we got a modular segment here.
So I will be happy to let you guys know that I have finally received my copy of Breath of the Wild, and so I will be playing that after this month is over, after we've moved, and so Tyler can actually.
You can't tease me like this, Nick, anymore.
Stop,
I'm not falling for this.
Bothering me about not playing the best game in the world of all time.
Nick has showed me no concrete proof that he now owns Breath of the Wild. He's showed me Photoshop images. He's some reason had a well printed 3D copy of a single screen of a Switch. They showed. He didn't show me any movement. He just showed me what looks like a Switch that might show the front screen. Actually, he did move it a little bit, but that's besides the point. You know, an interactive 3D printed object. I do not trust him. I need to feel alive, Nick. You got to play that for me, buddy. Play it for me. Now, actually, can I sidebar a little bit before we go to the modular segment?
Yeah, for sure.
So, with everybody who's been wanting and have been replaying Breath of the Wild, because apparently it took them 2 years to not play, 3 times in a row like somebody else over here. Oh God. I really got into the idea after watching, what's it his name? King Gothalion, or what is his name?
King Gothalion, yes.
He was playing a emulated version on the PC with a lot of spruced up updates to it. And it's the Wii U game, but with the right amount of things done to it with the emulator specifically, you can spruce it up to where it looks much better than the Switch versions, such as the 60 plus frames per second. And I attempted to do that. Problem is, though, I can't get a legal copy of the PC version of Breath of the Wild for some reason. It's weird because thanks to Nick, I am now the proud owner of Breath of the Wild for the Wii U as well. I shit you not. I got 2 versions of Breath of the Wild, Nick. But some reason I can't, I don't have a disk drive in my computer, so I can't put it in. So I got to figure out a way to do that. If somebody wants to help me, by the way, I love sailing the 7 seas, yar. With that, let me know. We can make something happen here. That way I can replay Breath of the Wild. Then we could play Breath of the Wild together, and you'll play on the beta version. I'll play on the true and one holy version.
See, I finally buy the game so I could eventually play it and finish it, and he shames me for that too. Chat, I called you guys chat. I can't win.
No, Nick, you won. You won the moment you answered like 200 different questions from us. Oh, jeez. Look, you even got the season pass and everything. You got so much ahead of you. I'm really hopeful that you got that you'll enjoy it.
It's gonna be a little bit of a slower summer, so I'll have time to play games, which I'm excited for. Yeah,
I am for you too, man. Because it's weird because there's a lot of games that came out in the past 6 months that we can really explore and enjoy that offers a similar experience, maybe a little bit better or maybe a little bit worse. I don't think you've been playing too much of them. I can't really name any games off the top of my head. So going back to maybe not the original, but the one that started inspiring a more open air setting. Hell no, Zelda didn't even do that because we have had plenty of games that's really open air or open world. It's just the way it offers a lot of things. It's almost magical, I guess. But I won't rant or rave. This is not a Craigslist ad. It could be though. You want to turn this episode into a Craigslist ad? You want to rant?
No, please. I've been going through enough Craigslist ads to find my apartment. So
true. And I also have to avoid going to Goodwill auction. Oof. It's dangerous, man. I started looking at Xbox 360 bundle games. Like, ooh, this one has Final Fantasy 13. I heard that's a terrible game, but I'd love to have it again for some reason. Modular segment. Nick, have you looked at this segment right here?
Yes, I have.
Have you thought of anything?
Yes, I have.
Have you? Oh,
yes.
Good, because I totally forgot about this. But I do have a couple ideas. However, the segment that we're going to do for this one was called the Perfect Video Game Movie Workshop. There's been a lot of video game movies that have been coming out. The latest one, as far as I'm remembering right now, is going to be Detective Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog coming out very soon. They look like the Thing of Nightmares. The the
Sonic
Detective
the Hedgehog
Pikachu?
more than Detective Pikachu. I think Detective Pikachu is doing a good job at putting a realistic spin on the Pokemon, but
Yes.
Sonic the Hedgehog looks like a mistake.
There was actually some people on Reddit, I believe, who edited Sonic's eyes to make it look more realistic and proper. But of course, we know that's not going to happen. It's going to
Yeah.
be, he is going to be the result. This is when the alchemist tried to fuse a hedgehog with a human. This is what we're going to get. This
It's
is
a bad
alchemy.
furry cosplay, is what it is.
This is forbidden alchemy.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog, forbidden alchemy. Geez. So we decided that we're going to make our own movie. Now, Nick, you said you had an idea of some sort. You want to give me your hot pitch and we can work with it?
Oh, okay. So I want to clarify a few things.
Clarify
Because
away.
I think I came up with something else, and then I reread this now, and then this might be something else. So we're taking an existing video game movie and then redesigning it, or can I propose a new video game to be made into a movie?
Oh no, it can be any video game you want. You can either build a one from scratch, something that's never happened before, or you can take one that happened in the past and try to make the movie right. A
Okay,
good
so
example is if you want to remake the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1988, I believe, which is perfect in every way. Don't you dare fucking judge it. It's non-canon. It's okay. The dinosaur does die. It is Yoshi. For some reason, it's a Velociraptor. It doesn't matter.
okay.
Goomba.
So if I was to take an existing movie and then remake it, it would be Doom. That would be my first attempt, first pick. So Doom as a movie came out, when was it? It was 2005, and was
Okay.
with The Rock, and it was just
Excuse me. The Rock has separated from WWE, and he does have to keep it as his middle name now legally, so people know who he is. But you can have the decency to call him Dwayne Johnson.
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind whether you call him Dwayne Johnson or The Rock.
Oh, he tried so hard not to be called The Rock since he split off from WWE, but no one knew him as anything but The Rock. So he eventually had to meet 50-50 after the Scorpion King as Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
But yeah, no. So Doom was okay. It was not great. Saw it ages ago. Didn't enjoy it. Honestly, I would make it aesthetically. I would target whatever the game looked like in 2016.
So it was something that you were passionate about, the idea, but when you watched it, you weren't completely impressed.
Yeah,
is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, the story. Because I have not seen this movie.
Again, mind you, it's been a while since I've watched this movie, so I think the story sticks is similar to like the original story of Doom, but with a few other elements thrown in to make it fitting for a movie. Because the original plot to Doom is very straightforward and is quite lengthy in gameplay, like when you're playing the game, but it wouldn't it be more of an episode like or a short film rather than a full length feature film.
Okay.
That makes sense, right? So from that angle, I can understand why they did what they did, but I feel like if you take Doom Eternal and whatever the next game is, just grab the story from that, focus the movie on just purely the action, meaning you can keep the story as simple as you want it, and just make sure that visuals, aesthetics, and the action are good. You got a fucking banger right there.
Now, would you John Grimm is the main character of that movie, correct? Does that sound right? With Karl Urban?
Yes.
Okay. Karl Urban is also known as he played as Judge Dredd in the movie Dredd. And,
I like Karl Urban. He was in the Star not the Star. He was in Star Trek, and he was in the Lord of the Ring movies as well.
Bones McCoy. He was also in Thor. He was the character Scourge. Didn't make the biggest appearance, but he made an appearance. It was funny.
Yeah, and he was what's that guy's name? Boromir? No, Eomir in Lord of the Rings.
He's was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Eomer. Eomir. Cool. Yeah, you're right. Holy shit! Now I'm scrolling down and singing like, what else do I know about him? And that's pretty much it. That's all I know him for. Jeez.
But actor wise, I don't know, because the Marine, who's who's the protagonist of Doom, is very much a quiet person, not really one for many words. Um, so ideally you'd need somebody who'd be able to fit into a suit, just 5, 6 feet, and like and put on a menacing presence even with the helmet on. So ideally maybe somebody like Tom Hardy, who played a fantastic Bane.
Ooh, my proposal to that would be for his performance in the Looney Tunes movie, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He doesn't like talking, doesn't have to talk. He just has to walk around, do the Stone Cold Stunner, and drink a beer, and then says, "Fuck you."
Just punch some people, shoot some people. Yeah, no,
and that's what Steve Austin does. But I can work with Tom Hardy. I feel like after his performance with Venom, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did pretty good with that. But you're talking about man,
from The Dark Knight, Bane. Because he put on a lot of muscle mass for that role, and he looked, as compared to his physical appearance in Venom. These are two different people we were looking at, almost.
Very different. I mean, oh man, do we keep the other characters in this movie?
No, so with the story of Doom in the reboot, really there are only a few characters. There's one person that's trying to help you, one person who's trying to destroy everything, and you just really and it's just the Marine, and then you have all the demons. It's really, you don't need all of these extra things to make a good Doom movie, in my opinion. Again, you really have to set the tone and the expectations and the narrative beforehand. Same thing with why Pacific Rim is a good action movie. Story is whatever, acting is whatever, but it's giant robots fighting giant monsters. Right? And that's what we knew we were getting when we were going to the movie, because that's what they portrayed it as in the trailers, and that was enough. We didn't need some fancy, like, there was romance, but we didn't need it. There was like family bonding, but we didn't. Movie. No, we don't, because it's robots fighting giant monsters.
We just need Stone Cold Steve Austin.
So that's my take for that, for redesigning an existing video game movie. And I have another suggestion, if I may.
Yes, of course.
Also, I do think it might work. I don't know, because like if you look at the first John Wick, it was just really all action. There was a little bit of story. It was not as in your face or not integral.
There was a story about a dog. Okay.
No,
that was a very important story.
Listen, Tyler, you need to understand that John Wick is one of my favorite movies of the.
I'm listening.
Yeah. Okay. So, all I'm saying is, as long as you do it right, an action-focused movie will work in this day and age. If we want to talk about action and story, I would propose always a Halo movie.
Ooh, the Halo movie of legend that was supposed to happen, and maybe one time was considered, possibly to be a Netflix, but
because it can happen. We have the technology to make all those visual effects. It's not like it's a realistic story. It's like a military, like there's realism in some elements of the story. All we'd have to worry about is how CGI is going to make the aliens look like.
All right, so I'm pulling this one straight out of my ass. Are you ready for my suggestion here?
Ready for it.
Okay, so first, it's gonna be kind of weird. You're gonna have to work with me in this tunnel. Okay. So we're gonna call it Infinity War, the game, the movie, John Wick. That's the subtitle. So basically, what happened is it's post Infinity War. Thanos snapped his finger.
I know what you're talking about.
John Wick's second dog disappears. So John Wick in the game is going to hunt down Thanos and all his minions, and then we're going to make a movie based off of that. So we got to build the game first. So it's going to be a third-person shooter / action platformer game where he has to collect parts of his dogs as well as the Infinity Stone, fuse the dog back to life. I'm sorry for spoiling Endgame. And with the final boss be Thanos. Now, the question is, though, do we recast Keanu Reeves as John Wick in the game, the movie?
No, because No, you have to keep John Wick as Keanu Reeves.
Okay, oh, just making sure. And do we keep Thanos as oh shit?
Yes,
what was the...
Josh Brolin.
Do we have to though?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
He is pretty cool.
He's one of the he's one of the best villains I've seen in a while. Just maybe I'm not even talking about like ideology, but just the way he acted, the tone of his voice, the inflection, the way he stood there. I know a lot of it was CGI, but there's a certain amount that they can't CGI. They still had to capture. They still had to do motion capture.
Okay, I say we keep him, but on one condition.
Okay.
We have a sidekick that works with John Wick, and it's going to be Cable, also acted by Josh Brolin. So it's going to be a real Austin Powers situation where Cable and John Wick are going to be hunting down to save this dog, as well as trying to defeat Thanos.
I'm okay with this.
Okay, good. I mean, this has absolutely nothing to do with video. We've got to add a video game character. What's a video game character that wants some revenge ass revenge? You know, always.
I would say Spider-Man, but he disappeared.
Ooh, yeah, he's not feeling too good right now, Mr. Stark. Let's see. What is the name of the Queen's Wrath? Petros.
Petravenge.
I mean, she wants revenge. Mm-hmm. We could put Cade 6 or Cade 7. Cade 7. There we go. These are all excellent shooters.
I don't know. I think we need somebody more hungry, somebody more ambitious.
Hungry, like power hungry, or just
a little bit.
In the world?
Yeah, just a little bit. I think we need somebody who has an actual like edge, who can turn on you.
Okay, so we're gonna pull from the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that's coming out. We're gonna pull out Shadow the Hedgehog, who does have guns in his own game. So, okay, so starring.
Or what about even Link?
Link.
Yeah,
is he Link just gets hungry?
I mean, okay, no, but okay, no, but
Black Throat last time, princess.
Okay, but hear me out. So Link just randomly, loses a battle again against Ganon, goes to sleep to hibernate or whatever, heal up, and then he somehow ends up in this strange world where all these people have disappeared, where Thanos exists. Exactly, it opens like this trans-dimensional multiverse portal that drops
great.
him
We're
there.
gonna do Spider-Verse too. Let's do this.
And
come out.
And Ganon also manages to find his way and teams up with Thanos.
Okay, so humor me with this. We now have John Wick, who wants to kill Thanos to get his dog back. We have Cable, for some reason, who's coming back because he wants to, save his future again because he got fucked up by Thanos. We now have maybe Shadow the Hedgehog, who was kind of in the works here. Maybe he'll just be a side role, kind of like Spider-Pig from Spider-Verse. And then we have fucking Link. Does Link have a gun?
No, Link has the Master Sword. What does he need a gun for? I mean, Thor almost killed him with Stormbringer, but then he just missed the head.
Ooh, so the Master Sword then? Or do you want to try something a little bit heavier on his side? Because, we got more shit that we can mess with.
No, the Master Sword. Maybe he comes through with the Triforce but doesn't realize because it's been inside the whole time and he has to fully awaken towards the end of the game before he can unleash his full power.
Is this some fucking Gohan Super Saiyan 2 versus Cell shit? It's like it was inside you all along.
Tell me this isn't feasible with Link at least.
Oh yeah, it's totally feasible. But what about Ganon? Or Ganondorf, whatever you want to call him, is supposed to have the Triforce of power. If
he's just here for shits and giggles.
Okay, so he doesn't have the Triforce anymore, so he has a power vacuum right now. He's kind of bitter. So he's going to team up and work with Thanos in hopes of maybe backstabbing him, getting the power glove for himself. Okay.
And then Thanos figures it out because he tries to do it towards the climax of all the action, and Thanos kills him. And during that whole confusion, the heroes come in and they just fucking hit him with it, and then everybody's good. Everybody's happy.
Okay, so should we spoil this? Well, okay, let's do actors. I hope you're ready for this. Keanu Reeves obviously does John Wick. Who does Cable? We got Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Who does the small cameo appearance of Shadow the Hedgehog?
Danny DeVito.
The fuck? I know we were talking about that for Detective Pikachu. Hey,
But, okay,
wise
but
guy.
I think it could work.
Danny DeVito is Shadow the Hedgehog?
Yes.
I thought we're gonna ride the Ryan Reynolds train, but you know, I'm okay with this. Danny DeVito is Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm so edgy right now. I got these machine guns. Get off my lawn. What the fuck is okay? And then finally we have who's gonna voice Link, or is Link silent for this, or does he get a voice in this multiverse here that we're making?
Well,
here?
even if there's no voice, we still have to figure out an actor for Link, right?
True. Because Shadow the Hedgehog, for the love of God, please let him be animated. Then
Tyler, this is probably a question for you. Who would you cast as Link? If there was a live action Legend of Zelda movie, who would you cast as Link?
Tosh.0. I believe his name. Yeah, have you heard of him, or am I making a guy up?
Tosh.0.
Yes.
It's a TV show, so what's his name? What's the actor's name? Let's find out.
Daniel Tosh.
Daniel Tosh.
Yes.
You'd cast him as Link?
He is a terrible actor, and I figured it would be comical at this point.
Okay.
I believe Daniel Tosh's big thing, I think at one point he broke his leg trying to run into Mike Tyson's outstretched arm because he wanted to see what it was like to get punched by him, but he didn't want Mike Tyson to actually punch him, so he just ran into his arm and broke his leg in the process.
Interesting.
And, okay, fine. Let's pick someone serious. Well, Stone Cold Steve Austin. There we go. We'll just put a fucking wig on it. Hey,
I mean, you might
Danny
as well
DeVito.
at that point just fucking cast Rey Mysterio, because Link's not the tallest of men.
That would be interesting for what is Rey Mysterio's
and he still wears his mask even with like underneath like the hair and the hat.
In the Wild, you can wear a wrestling mask like item, so we'll work with it at the Luminite armor. Oh gosh, okay.
I have a suggestion for Calamity Ganon.
Oh, we're gonna do Calamity Ganon. We don't want to do.
We'll come back to Link, but I have a suggestion for Calamity Ganon.
Well, I just mean in general. Do you really want to do Calamity Ganon?
Or so just Ganon in general? I want
just do regular Ganon here. Yeah,
Idris Elba.
Oh.
Idris Elba. It has those really nice, smooth, dulcet tones, and he can get really deep if he wants. And he's a fantastic actor. He plays fuck, I can't pronounce his name, but he plays the gatekeeper in the first three in Thor. He plays Charles Miner in The Office. Heimdall, that's his name.
Okay.
Plays Charles Miner in The Office. He has his own show called
he's Chief Bogo in Zootopia. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
And looks like he plays the character. Oh no, that's something else. Sorry.
And I believe he has been considered for the next James Bond.
Really?
Yeah, or at least he's a fan favorite for the next James Bond, because I love him. He's a fantastic actor, and I think he'd have that very specific. Oh, you know who could play Link? What's his name?
You about to knock out Rey Mysterio? Oh boy, here we go. Hot take.
It's the actor who plays Draco Malfoy.
Oh shit! What is his name? Shit.
Tom Felton. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I'll be okay with that. I mean, are you doing it just because he's blonde? Because they're gonna break my heart. Oh, damn.
Yeah, but he is a dynamic actor too, and he can he got a whole generation to hate him in the movies.
True, but Tom Felton, like, one of the real reasons why he is well liked as that character was the fact he could sneer, very good, and he had that rich white boy drawl to him. I feel like you'd want a character that wouldn't be, he has a dominating presence just by not talking, and that's why I'm going to recommend bringing Alan Rickman back from the grave. Professor Snape, make him Link. He goes, Ganondorf, Mr. Ganon. No, okay, fine. Tom Felton.
That's an older Link. We could even do, if we're not scared about doing a little bit of gender bending. I could see
Oh,
Macy Williams as Link. She's the actress that plays Arya Stark in Game of Thrones.
wait, the
The
youngest
little
one?
one, the youngest one. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, yeah, let's do that. Well, fucking. Well, I mean, we got Linkle. Ah, fuck it, gender bend it.
yeah.
You're gonna say Link is whatever you want him to be. You name the character. Shigeru Miyamoto himself said Link is supposed to be you. He's called Link because he's supposed to link the character and the player to the game. So if you are Link, then I'm okay with that. Fuck.
And like acting wise, she's shown that she's capable with the sword, right?
Okay. Let us finalize this then for John Wick, the game, the movie. We got John Wick with Keanu Reeves. We have Brolin playing as both Thanos and Cable.
Yes.
See, for Shadow the Hedgehog, we have Danny DeVito for some reason. He's going to be the comic relief. I'm okay with this. Maybe this is Shadow after he started losing his edge and he's kind of like midlife crisising right now. I mean that
or like he went into retirement, realized he had no money, and to come out, but he'd become so soft that he just sounds and acts like Danny DeVito
again. No more M&Ms for me.
And so we should have him transition halfway through as the movie goes on, eventually, and so we find a different voice actor where he becomes and he gets his edge back.
You don't think we can make a Danny DeVito that got his edge back?
Do you really think we can make a Danny DeVito that is that? Dark chocolate. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna go all the way. I'm gonna eat Skittles.
But yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog is Danny DeVito. Ganon, Idris Elba is Ganon, and our version of Link, portrayed by Macy Williams.
I'm okay with this. John Wick, the game, the movie, I think has been casted for the 8 different companies that I'll have to get into this. I'll be waiting for the checks. I will split between Nick and I already. So just, take care of that. Cool. Thank you for the modular segment. Also, we got a side project also called Doom. I'm sorry for just really a hard pushing John Wick, the game, the movie. I've really totally...
No, this was fun.
It's it's an experience. So, topic of the show, we have one kind of goofy thing, and that's a scary sign of the times, and then we got 2 pretty cool things. I'd like to think, because last week we went to gloom and doom kind of stuff. I wanted to do something similar to do the opposite. I want to bring in some good stuff, but let's continue the gloom and doom. Nick, could you burn us with the headline of the first article we got going on here? Thank you.
Kotaku. Let me make sure it's the right. Okay, Kotaku. Then I got the right one.
Cough, cough, wink, wink.
World of Warcraft fans are perturbed over pulled portals. Now,
yes,
Tyler, I don't play WoW.
It's okay. I just wanted to read the headline.
Okay.
So we do know that Blizzard Activision is currently undergoing some shifts of power and dynamics right now with the fluctuation and loss of Bungie. And when Bungie was gone, Activision had to beat up Blizzard a little bit. It was kind of unfortunate. We lost a lot of people a couple of weeks ago. And the developers wanted to make sure the players felt it, just the sense that there's a disturbance in the force. So for some reason, World of Warcraft is taking away traveling portals just because. The people have no fucking. This has happened before, Nick. They'll put down portals about halfway into an expansion just to let people teleport instantly anywhere they wanted to. That way, they don't have to fly and spend a half hour trying to get to a certain place.
Right.
And they did put some different portals down to help ease, like in different locations, a little bit more accessible. But of course, they pulled the big portal hub once again. Just who fucking knows? Nick, I think Blizzard is trying to reach out people. I think they're trying to scream for help. I think this is what this means.
Well, a few days ago, I believe, or maybe last week, I saw a headline I didn't read the article, mind you. I just thought it was humorous. So I don't know about the validity of the headline or the news article.
Okay.
But I saw a headline that said Activision said that the 800 to 900 people they laid off could hurt growth.
Man shoots self in foot. Says he might have trouble walking.
And I was like, I don't even want to. I didn't want to read it because I'm like, how could they? How if this was true? Assuming that this was true,
There's no
how
way
could
that
you
be
hire
true. Man
people
shouts at
and
sky.
and then be like, oh well, I think these 800, 900 jobs that we just destroyed, or I think it's gonna hurt us in the long run.
So
Yeah.
just the joke. I stopped playing World of Warcraft a while ago just because I got burnt out, and I'm sure many people did too. And for some reason, I think this is a sign that Blizzard's starting to scream for help. So also we forgot that Captain Marvel should be with the team, but that's okay. We'll forget about the movie.
No, because John Wick is the strongest, is the best person is the strongest person the whole known universe. So everybody's just there for like support. Like they're just there to kind of like loiter around, provide like character development. But really, it's gonna be John Wick that's gonna kill Thanos.
Okay, that is fair. I don't want to get too far into this article. I just wanted to point out that Blizzard might be in trouble, and kind of like back in the day we used to do smoke signals to turn the flag upside down if we're under distress and all that stuff. And right now this is Blizzard's way of doing it. They're pulling portals from World of Warcraft. So somebody send some help. If you don't mind, I would like to take the next article for Sony here, because I figured we haven't really talked about Sony as much as we'd like to ever since the whole Kingdom Hearts thing. I wouldn't call it a fiasco, but what's up, Nick?
No, we haven't talked much about Sony. And I was just remembering an article I read this past week, and it wasn't about Sony because I thought it was about Sony. But we'll talk about it later towards the end.
Okay, sure. Sony releases a free PS4 theme to celebrate March 8th, I believe, which is International Women's Day. And of course, I'd like to celebrate the empowerment of women as I wouldn't say a feminist so much, but I like to empower anybody I can. And it looks like Sony does too, because they want to celebrate with all of their female characters that they can find in most of their first party games. And so they're going to release a theme to celebrate International Women's Day. It did come out on March 8th. It is free for anybody who wants it. It's a cool wallpaper that shows different characters, such as the Freya from God of War, the characters from Uncharted, Nadine and crap, I can't remember her name.
Chloe.
Chloe. Thank you, sir. We have Aloy from
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Jesus, what am I doing here? Let's see. It looks like we also got Ellie from Last of Us, and
there's a Hunter from Bloodborne.
And I don't recognize the other characters specifically because it's towards the background. But
this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I could. I guess I could just read this little list here. Characters include Horizon Zero Dawn's Aloy. I was looking at it and trying to guess. Last of Us, Ellie, Freya from God of War, the Hunter from Bloodborne, Chloe and Nadine. And it doesn't read the other characters that are in this. Oh, that's awkward. Okay, so I guess all the major ones. And they're all holding PlayStation 4 controllers and having fun. Let's see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 controllers. Looks like Aloy, Freya, Nadine, and Ellie are playing a game. They're all smiling and looking at the controller, not at the screen, except for Aloy, who clearly has one. Good on her. And she needs a sequel soon. And so if you do own a PlayStation 4, you can also pick up the PS Plus games, which includes Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered and The Witness. Both wonderful, awesome games you should give a shot. If you think about it, Call of Duty Modern Warfare was the game that kind of changed the video game world with, it was the original version. People think of PUBG and all that stuff, but what really brought it from a normal shooter game to the game that everybody wants to play and have to have, it was fucking Modern Warfare. So you got the remastered version that you can play absolutely for free if you own PS Plus, as well as The Witness, which is a wonderful, very nice puzzle game.
I'm sorry. I need to interject my opinion here because I can be pretentious sometimes.
You
But
know,
Halo
I did
Combat
stop
Evolved
talking, so-
PvP, Halo Combat Evolved PvP was really what set the pace for arena shooters.
Okay.
Also, I've never played Modern Warfare, so maybe they were released at the same time. Let's find out.
I mean, if we're gonna, go further back, then one could say that, GoldenEye 007 for the Nintendo 64.
Actually, no. Okay, so my argument here is that Combat Evolved set the pace for modern arena shooters, but then we also have to remember games like Quake, specifically, which I think is just maybe a little bit older.
Look, each of those games set a climbing ascent to notoriety with shooter games, especially arena-based ones. But I feel like once Call of Duty Modern Warfare had came to the playing field, it started going up exponentially because we had a group that clearly loved and played the Call of Duty games. It was in a bit of a slump. Same thing with Battlefield and all that stuff. But the moment Call of Duty 4 hit the thing, like parents were playing it suddenly again. I had an uncle that started playing that never, it was one of those games where it felt like anybody could get into it. And it was simple enough that people could enjoy it and understand it while keeping a cool aspect to it that other games simply didn't provide as much. Now, you could argue that maybe back in the days, somebody's kid's father started playing Quake, and that was the big thing back then. But for our generation specifically, I would like to think that Call of Duty Modern Warfare was the one that kind of spun it up for us, ended up leading to the popularity of first-person shooters.
I guess I've never played any Call of Duty games. So for me, my main shooter games were I can't remember what it was called, Unreal Tournament growing up.
Okay,
and yeah, Halo just all the way through.
Absolutely. For me, it was Halo for the most part, just spending time with friends and all that stuff when it came to shooters. Then a little bit with Call of Duty games. I tried playing Modern Warfare 2, but then I kind of burnt out on that, and then I kind of took a seat back from shooter games for the most part. Very rarely picking it up for games such as this is a third-person shooter, but Dead Space. Dead Space was obviously my big heavy hitter for when it came to shooting games, but it's not exactly an online multiplayer battle, thing for it. I mean, there was for 2 where it was Necromorphs versus players, but
yeah, no.
Okay, Nick, why don't you take away the last article we got going on here?
All right. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, Nick.
Are you a fan of Mario?
Mario? It's me, Mario. Woohoo, let's go.
Well, if you're a fan of Mario and if you like the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo is celebrating Mario Day 2019 with a new Switch deal. That's right.
Deal.
That's right. You heard it right here first, I'm sure, because we get exclusives all the time. March 10th. So it's already active. March 10th to March 16th. You can buy a Nintendo Switch with any one of a Mario game bundled together on sale for $329.98. That's right, $329.98. That's a savings of $30. Now you can get any one of these games: Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Party, Mario Kart 8, Deluxe Mario Tennis Aces, and new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe.
It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario Tennis Aces, but yes. So you can buy a Switch right now. Nick was trying to do some kind of Casper mattress ad right there. It was throwing me off, but you can buy a Switch right now and get Odyssey, Mario Party, Mario Kart, or Mario Tennis Aces, and the new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe for only $30.
And I believe there's a typo here in the article. It says if you're in the market for a Switch, after they talk about the Switch deal, I believe they meant to say if you're not in the market for a Switch, the Nintendo Switch bundle with a... Oh, no, it still is. I misread it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... Polygon, please forgive me. I didn't mean to offend you in any way. Sorry, Emily Heller. There was no typo. I just didn't read it right. Yeah, I don't know. Carry on.
Nick says you suck. Oh, okay. So there's also a deal apparently on Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart. If you don't, there's a bundle where it comes with a $35 eShop gift card, which technically is a better deal, but at the same time, the games that they're mentioning on the eShop is probably going to be at full price still. So expect
No, actually, Nintendo's taking $20 off digital downloads of the Mario games listed above.
Wow, look at you. So, but that's not $30. So
no, but it still brings them down to about $40, which is better than paying $60.
That is true, but I'm just saying you could either go for the console and a $30 game, or you can get a console and a $35 eShop credit, but the game's going to cost $10 more.
Oh no, yeah, no. Like if you don't have the console, if there's a Mario game out there and you haven't bought it yet, they're $20 off right now.
Yes. So as you said, so I mean, $40 for a lot of those games are still pretty good deals. Unfortunately, you think they'd drop in price eventually, but a lot of the games that are still new, like Super Mario Party came out just a few months ago. That should be at $40, I'd like to think, but the Nintendo longevity with their first party games is very vicious when it comes to keeping prices up to scruff. Like I'm pretty much any Breath of the Wild game you're not going to see under $50, unfortunately, even used. Ugh. But I would not get Mario Tennis Aces for, I mean, $40 is still a rough thing for Mario Tennis Aces, unfortunately. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I would recommend, but you should have had that game already because otherwise you're a fool, Nick.
Who am I going to play with?
Me!
Outside of you.
And Amanda.
Outside of Amanda.
Other Nick. Brandon.
Does it come with a time travel machine to change the 3-hour time difference so that I can play comfortably at 7 and get drunk?
You think that we wouldn't drink my rosé wine at 10 p.m.? You are a fool, Nick, if you think otherwise.
But yeah, no, that's
just messing. But
I know. If if there's a Mario game that you guys haven't got yet, and if you don't have the console, there's some great deals going on right now. Pay attention; it's only till the 16th, so go out and find those deals at what are these at Amazon, GameStop, Best Buy, Target, and Walmart.
And also on the eShop if you're looking for just the $40 games digitally. So you got until when you listen to this up until the Saturday, which is the 16th. So you got a full week. Think about it. Odyssey, Mario Party, Mario Kart, Mario Tennis Aces, and if you really want to, the new Super Mario Brothers. I wouldn't recommend that one specifically, but I'm full of shit. Disregard me. Which actually I think came out in January, so I'm kind of surprised that they were willing to chop that one down so quickly. I'm not saying it's a good deal. I wouldn't recommend it either way, but yeah, maybe you want to play something like that with your kids. I would definitely recommend Super Mario Odyssey and either Mario Party or Mario Kart. Depending if you have friends over the internet or locally. That way you don't make the same mistake I fucking did with Brandon and Nick and tried getting Mario Party and playing online and realizing that you can only play 5 games that are rotated every week.
Yay!
Yay, fun. Thank you, Nintendo. You're so great with online co-op. Splatoon. So I think that's pretty much it over on the news end. Is there anything else you want to bring up real quick?
There was something I did want to, but I think I'm gonna hold on to that for next week, possibly.
Are you sure, buddy?
Yes, I'm pretty sure actually.
Okay. That's fine. So we have I would say 7 games because that's how many there are that are coming out this week. Obviously a bunch more, but these are the ones that we can think of. Nick, why don't you take this one? I'll take the next segment.
All right. So, March 12th. We've got 2 games coming out. We've got Dissidia Final Fantasy NT Free Edition coming out on the PC and PS4. And we've got MX versus game, ATV All Out Anniversary Edition, PC, PS4, Xbox One. Tell me about the Final Fantasy game, Tyler.
So, have you ever heard of Dissidia?
No.
Imagine a fighting game that is focused on Final Fantasy characters.
Right.
Every Final Fantasy character and their villain, or most of them, come from different Final Fantasy games. Come Super Smash Brothers like into this one giant world where it's a god of chaos versus the god of order, and they just duke it out in their very mosh pit style storylines where they have one reason to hate one character or another and they fight it out. So
Okay.
if you wanted to play as your hero from Final Fantasy VII Cloud, and you wanted to take on Kefka from Final Fantasy 6/3, and this game makes it possible. It came out originally on the PSP, but eventually came out, I believe, in releases in different versions and different console reiterations for Sony. And it looks like there's a free edition of this coming out for the PC and PS4, which
Nice.
that's pretty cool. I like that idea.
Free. You got me. You hooked me right in. I'll probably download it and not play it for a while. Anyways, moving on. March 14th, we've got Motorsport Manager on the Switch. So that's coming out March 14th. March 15th is a big day for games. This is the Friday, the upcoming Friday. And I'll start with not the biggest. We've got Fenimore Fillmore, Three Skulls of the Toltecs coming out on PC. We've got Lego Marvel Collection, PS4, Xbox One, and we've got One Piece World Seeker, PC, PS4, Xbox One. Now, Fenimore Fillmore, what is this, Tyler?
Nick, do you expect me to know something that says Fenimore Fillmore? Fillmore?
Fenimore Fillmore, The Westerner is a graphic adventure game. Oh, so that's the previous installment.
Developed and published by a company called Casual Brothers. It does look like it's a click adventure game where I guess you could say visual novel, but it's one of those click and explore and try to. It looks like you're walking through the a western lake town. It's completely cartoonish, almost seems Looney Tune style, but it's a bit serious. Yeah, if you want to walk into a saloon and pretend that that's your visual novel by Casual Brothers, then yeah, that's for you. It's coming out this Friday. Also,
so yeah, we've got then we've got One Piece World Seeker, and it looks like this is going to be a game set directly in the anime/manga. It's going to be set in Jail Island, located in the New World, and players will experience and wage battles in an open world environment which can be freely explored. And then Lego Marvel Collection, for anybody who are fans of the Lego games, I'm sure would be excited for this. I've not actually played any of the Lego games. Have you played the Lego games, Tyler? Do you enjoy them?
I was a big fan of the Lego Star Wars games back in the day. I haven't played them nearly as much anymore. That and the Harry Potter series I was a big fan of.
Right.
Amanda actually enjoyed playing the Lego Marvel games that came out on the Wii U and whatnot. So PS4 also, I believe. So this would be something that she'd be more interested in. And
okay.
We do need a nice co-op couch multiplayer because she keeps giving me the look that tells me that we're supposed to be playing Stardew Valley together. So I gotta escape that. Maybe.
Hey, brother, if you ever want to start a farm, all you got to do is holler.
Well, I mean, you could invite Amanda to the Brotherhood Adventure, whatever the fuck you called it.
It's called the Bro Venture, Tyler.
The Bro Venture.
We're just a bunch of buds farming up, cuddling at night to save on electricity because heating is expensive. That's it. We're just farming, fishing, mining.
I just imagine with Nick the dog and Amanda the father, the venture never ends. It's Proventure time.
All right.
Sorry.
We got one more. We got one more game on this list. It's a big one, so I saved it for the last. The Division 2 comes out this Friday, PC, PS4, Xbox One. So look forward to that. Definitely, I played some of the beta. It's an interesting game. It is. It has plenty of affordances for exploring the world alone, but definitely is more fun when you play with friends. So, and if you're a big fan of what Division 1 looked like towards the end of its life cycle after they made all the good changes, I'm sure they'll be looking forward to Division 2 because the beta is probably an old build and it showed a very polished game, both UI-wise and gameplay-wise.
I mean, the Division did have a good amount of popularity with the people that played it. Obviously, there's a couple of shortcomings that gave people some trouble, but I would like to think that people that made the Division will have a better chance at making this a worthwhile game. And with the goof up of stuff like Anthem, whatnot, that's really gone very quiet. And I'm sorry, I should be saying the developer, which is Massive Entertainment, also Ubisoft. This would be their next big break, considering the games that we've been expecting so far in this past month seem to have slipped on the downside. However, I mean, one good game that came out, I believe, last week that people are starting to rave about, which is really throwing me off, Nick, is Devil May Cry 5. Because it just feels like it was a silent and suddenly an explosion of talk about.
Yeah, we talked about that last week too. It was like, well, Devil May Cry, like, I never played the games much. I only played the reboot that a lot of people didn't seem to like, but I really liked it for how different it was. But anyways, Devil May Cry was always one of those series that people would rave about and would defend it to death. And then when it finally got announced and that was coming out, there just didn't seem to be enough marketing, or as much marketing as I would have expected, or enough hype building, which I think they might have done on purpose, because you let the game speak for itself, which is what Apex Legends did. Putting aside a lot of the technical issues, Apex Legends just came out of nowhere, and it had one of the best receptions because there was no hype, there was no expectations that were set. It was just a game that came out, and people were able to form their own opinions. And I think that's what might have happened with Devil May Cry 5.
I'm really hoping so. As I'm sure you know, and a lot of people do know, when it comes to AAA publishing costs, a majority of it does go into advertising versus like the development of the game and whatnot. Like, it's almost comical how much they spend on advertising. Now, Capcom, who is both the developer and the publisher for this game, probably is trying to save $1 by not advertising as much and focusing more of the funds that they have left for this game, which I'd like to think is a great idea. The problem is, though, that means it might become a sleeper hit. Like, it's been pretty explosive with the reception with the cliche audience, but a lot of people probably don't know about this game or is not going to give it a shot for a while. But it's gonna be one of those things where you find a diamond in the rough. Right now, Steam, it's giving a 9 out of 10, and from IGN, a 9.5, which puts it superbly better than Kingdom Hearts 3, which is kind of sad when I think about it, but that's okay.
And there was a article that I have read about the silent success of Devil May Cry 5, and somebody from Capcom, I believe the CEO or the president, in an interview proudly declared that Capcom is back. And so all that tells me is that Capcom's very happy with how it's performed, and I'm glad. Like, I think it's important to have the old guard still exist. Yeah, I think they're there to push forward the narrative and allow the new ones to like evolve the game as they see fit, but still have a solid line to like how things used to be. And so seeing what's happening to Blizzard is sad. And when you have companies like Capcom persist, try different things, and finally come up with something, I'm happy.
I mean, they have Monster Hunter World. Street Fighter 5 was kind of rough for a while. Obviously, a bunch of other games that they have, but as you said, Kenzo Sugimoto, which is the CEO of Capcom, did in fact, shout to the heavens, and also on his Twitter, "Capcom is back, baby." He might have not said the baby part, but you know what I mean.
What an interesting time for gaming. This year is gonna be make or break. Not make or break, but it's gonna have a profound impact, because for the first time we are seeing a lot of money enter the gaming space. A lot of investors just dumping billions of dollars into all these different companies and investing. And we look at what Fortnite has done. It's going to be interesting to see whether people are going to be deterred from the lack of return of investment, because there are going to be some games that are going to crash, and because investors, I swear to God, they don't know what they're doing. they don't know they're just putting money where they see growth rather than looking at the quality of the game. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this changes things, because investors probably don't play the games.
It is perturbing when there's superstar games, as I'm going to call them in this case, and the names I'm going to talk about, like Fortnite obviously being the prime example here. The type of game and the quality of the game is something that kind of upsets me, but they did strike gold when they find the mass appeal to the right audiences to get such a huge success. And working on that in the long track, it just scares me what kind of games will be produced to help satisfy the needs of financial success by getting a larger growth of the audience. I'm also nervous that this will affect other games that will try to follow the trend. Obviously, we have certain companies that like to stick with tradition with their kind of games and whatnot, while advancing slightly different directions. I'm looking at you, Nintendo, but there's going to be a lot of companies that are going to try to follow the market because obviously they want money. We've seen that, for example, with Blackout. I believe it was that for, is it Call of Duty or Battlefield?
Yep.
I always get
Call of Duty Blackout. I can't remember what Battlefields is called.
I mean, Battlefield does have a much larger scale when it comes to their kind of gameplay, when it comes to open world style fighting. But Call of Duty was always been a throw yourself down into a closed match arena, play a small amount. But obviously, EA likes money. So, you know, it's just kind of weird seeing the way that people will make leaps and bounds to try to snatch on this stuff. And it's going to be a scary trend. Yep. I'm just afraid that there's going to be a one time where there's going to be something that, you know, I love and adore just the way it is. You can guess some names. You know, 100 Keybladers drop from the sky suddenly, and it's like, oh gosh, they're going to fight the darkness by defeating themselves. It's going to, I don't know. I say it's going to be horrible. It's going to be bad, but at the same time, it's like, maybe it'll be hilarious. I have no fucking idea. Maybe this should. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I think there very much is a lot of battle royale fatigue. What makes Apex Legends different is purely because it's first person and it plays like a first person shooter. The thing with Fortnite and its popularity is the fact that you can play it anywhere, and no game has done that to the extent that Fortnite has. From phones, tablets, laptops, PCs, Xboxes, PS4, Switch.
Would be known as Minecraft, but you know, when it comes to the game and the style of game that you're talking about, yes, you're right. Being able to play competitively from almost any platform, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's our rant for the most part, as we do.
Right. Because we got to fill up the time. We're like, oh no, we're only at an hour 25 minutes. We got to, you know, burn it in with a monologue or 5. This game, or this day in gaming, February 11th, which is our beautiful Monday here, we have 5 games that came out. The first one is most recently Hitman, the complete first season, which is technically like a remastered collection of sorts because it is episodic. However, I did want to, you know, send some appreciation for it. It came out for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC in 2016. So it is now 3 years old. Happy birthday, Hitman complete first season. Second one, which is a bit more serious, I'd like to think, is Dark Souls 2. It came out 5 years ago, man, for the PS3 and 360.
I really enjoyed Dark Souls 2. Not as good as Dark Souls 1, but like I just enjoyed the story that they were building, and Dark Souls 2 pushed that further. And I want to see what the combination is going to be.
It's interesting. We do have Demon Souls, of course, but Dark Souls was a huge leap of faith as to whether or not there's going to be people out there who'd enjoy that kind of game, that kind of difficulty. So Dark Souls 2 kind of shows the success of that. And so, you know, this marks 5 years where the success of Get Good Son, first player, you know, games and all that. Sorry, not first player, single player games can get, you know, fun. Oh, it's not, would you call that a single player game? Because you can get invaded, you can team up with.
I'm sorry. What's Dark Souls? I hate Dark Souls, Tyler. I'm just remembering what game I was talking about, and it's not Dark Souls.
Wait, whoa, oh shit, are you serious?
Yeah,
I was like, oh.
I saw Dark Souls, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I know exactly what game this is.
I love Dark Souls, and you're like, wait, Dark Souls? Oh, that, no! It's like saying...
I was thinking of Darksiders.
Oh.
I was thinking of Darksiders. That's what I fucking hate Dark Souls. I can't stand it. It's so fucking difficult and scary, and I hate the games. They're just so well made, though. Like, kudos to everybody who made the game.
The heel turn.
I hate Dark Souls.
Oh my gosh, just to see you turn so quickly like this. It's like saying, oh man, I love apple juice. And like, all right, here, try this. And it's apple cider. Like, oh man, apple cider. It's apple. It has the word apple in it. This is impossible. This is different. Nick, bless you. Thank you for that. I thought you're like, oh, okay. I didn't know he really, I mean, he does like the good games, but I figured, you know, this would be a huge turnoff. And like, I figured you might like Bloodborne or something like that, but Dark Souls, I figured would be
No, I
Too
hate it. My friends, all they ever wanted to do with Dark Souls 3, and we talked about this like maybe season 2 or late season 1. They're like, "Oh, you should get this game and play with us." I'm like, "I hate it. I don't want to. I'm not excited by games like this. I don't care for them." Like, "Oh, but it's got PvP, we can play together." I'm like, "I don't care. I don't care that we can play together. I just don't like games to this difficulty. Like, you can't even pick a difficulty. The base difficulty is just that much harder." And I hate
Yep.
it. I don't like that. I just personally don't like that. I don't like being challenged like that in a single player game when I'm just trying to like, okay, like make things certain things tough. You saw my streams for Bayonetta. Like some of
So,
it just infuriating.
sidebar here. At what point during my little speech about the recognition of difficulty did you realize, shit, this motherfucker might be talking about a different game? Let me look this up.
I think towards the end of when you were talking about, with how they
That's
made like PvE, like single player games, like get good style, and I'm like, wait, what's he talking about? At least.
is there a multi? Maybe you guys are excited. Darksiders 2 has multiplayer. Oh gosh, this is like, maybe we can play it together. Wait a minute, it was like Futurama Fry meme. Is this Dark Souls 2? Or is this something different?
That was good, dude. Oh fuck.
Coming out actually on the same day, funny enough, as Dark Souls 2 was Titanfall by Respawn Games, which obviously is after the whole split off of the head honchos over at Infinity Ward. They teamed up as an EA partner and made Titanfall this day for the Xbox One and PC in 2014.
I'm pretty sure it got a PS4 release later on too.
I'm pretty sure it did too. Actually, I would have thought that Titanfall originally came out for the PlayStation 3, but I could be mistaken on that.
Oh no, apparently it didn't. It only came out for the 360 and Xbox One. That doesn't seem right.
I mean, it makes sense to me because I never got to play Titanfall because I never owned an Xbox, even though everybody was talking about it. Titanfall 2 did come out for the PS4.
But I'm pretty sure I might have played Titanfall. Yeah, I might have played Titanfall 2 on PS because I'm pretty sure I played one of those games on a PS3 briefly or a PS4 briefly.
Well, Titanfall 2 did come out for the PS4. There's an article here that says that they were actually planning on making a PS3 edition discovered in the protection code. It looks like it fell through.
Interesting. Okay, well, my memory's failing me because I definitely did not play Titanfall 2 on the PS. It was Titanfall, and yeah. Anyways.
Yep, platform for Titanfall is Windows, Xbox One, Xbox 360. It looks like it just never quite made it over to the PlayStation 3. But let's see, number 4 on the list here, coming out in 2012, making this game 7 years old. Happy birthday for the Nintendo Wii game, also known as Mario Party 9. Now, this is throwing me off, Nick, because I believe the Wii U came out in 2013 or around that time. So this is really late into the Wii's life cycle, even though I'm pretty sure there's games still being made for the Wii right now. It's kind of freaky. Yeah, of course, there's games coming out for the 3DS too.
Oh, did it say Wii? I thought it said Wii U. Oh, that's pretty late because the Wii U did come out. When is this? November 2012, November 18th specifically.
Yeah, Mario Party 9 came out for the Wii.
Did Mario Party 9 get a dual release?
No, platform is strictly the Wii. It would have been Mario Party 10 that came out that was for the Wii U.
Interesting.
How crazy is that? How fucking great. It's weird because I think Mario Party 9 was the last one that they did that was the actual like game board where you rolled separately, and then Mario Party 10 was the weird party bus mechanic where you rolled and it moved everybody down the board, which sorry, just that was terrible. But I really do like Super Mario Party. It's fun, especially when you get to play with friends. Still haven't won fucking once in all the games I've played so far. But lastly, and I think this is probably the most important one, 1995, Nick. So you were like what, 2?
No, Tyler, I wasn't born yet.
Wait, what year were you born?
95.
Jesus. Oh God, I'm old.
I was born in May 95.
Oh God.
So this game comes out 3.5 months before I was born.
I can feel the Social Security. Yes. Okay. So the same year that Nick was born here. Oh gosh. I'm sorry. That's really messing with me. Making this game 14 years old. It came out in Japan for the SNES, but more importantly known as the Super Famicom, of course, is Chrono Trigger. Now, have you heard of Chrono Trigger?
I've heard of it, but I will correct you. You said 14. You meant to say 24. That's
oh
that's
shit. You're right. You're right.
That's how far back that game came out.
I'm sorry. I thought you were 14 years old. You're so young.
And so you just tack on another 4 years for you. So that's even, you're 28, Tyler.
Oh my gosh. Happy birthday to me. I'm 28 now. Oh, goddamn. Yeah. Chrono Trigger is now 24 years old. Holy smokes. So Chrono Trigger, I believe, was Square Enix. And it was, in my opinion, close contender of Super Mario RPG, probably one of the best RPGs that came out for the Super Nintendo. Hot take, right. Of course. Man, it was a great game. I did love playing and trying to get the different endings on it. And I really think it put in a good stepping stone to help push games like Final Fantasy to get a good turn-based fighting system. Obviously, that died out later on once they started doing like live action fighting like Final Fantasy 13, where you're running around and hitting people versus the turn-based. But yeah, details. Is there any other games that you want to give recognition to?
No, nothing that I saw on the list. Yeah, no, nothing in particular.
Okay, then let's wrap it up. Nick, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at LRWarrior11. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/LRWarrior11. Streams are rare and sporadic, but they happen every now and then. But yeah, that's me.
You can find me occasionally hijacking twitch.tv/halfassbackwards, who's been playing a lot of Terraria, and I like to play with them now. That was a lot of fun. But you can find me more importantly on Twitter at 2timestyler. You can find me out in the world. Just search for me and search for our Casual Master Quest pages, which is on Twitter, email, Facebook, and all that good stuff. On Twitter, it's going to be at Master Quest Pod. On Facebook, just search for Casual Master Quest. And on Instagram, you can do the same. If you want to email us, it's at casualmasterquest@gmail.com. Now, I just want to say really quickly, it's my sister's birthday tomorrow. Her birthday is March 10th, which is technically yesterday for the listeners. And so she has to celebrate the same day that Mario's birthday does, which is kind of freaky. But happy birthday, Amber.
Happy birthday, Amber.
Oh, double happy birthday. She'll be very happy to hear that. Tell her that somewhere in the podcast, I'll tell her happy birthday. She'll have to listen to find out where it is.
Well, now you've reached the end of the podcast. Hope you had a good birthday. Thank you very much, Amber.
Thank you guys for listening to this. I hope you're entertained. And of course, we're going to have more juicy stuff coming up next week. Don't you worry. The show will go on and we'll have some exciting things happening. But is there any last things before we send it off on a good note?
Make sure you hydrate yourselves, folks. It's very important that you get a good amount of water on a daily basis, anywhere between 1.5 to 2 liters.
And I really would like to point out, if you ever want to try something different and sticking to the water plan, A&W does have a good powder-like substance that that sounds kind of suspicious the way I put it. Like Crystal Light stuff, you can get A&W root beer or cream soda. Or if you just, want to get some Mio, I totally recommend Mio. I'd like to think that the black cherries is the best tasting one. What is yours, Nick?
I've never tried a Mio, but I would probably go for the lemony stuff.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not a big fan of lemonade flavored stuff, so or lemon lime, that is another possibility. I'd like to think. I think that and the acai berry flavored one is a pretty good one in my book. But let's not dally on because I know how I like to go on wild tangents. So Nick, you want to keep yourself hydrated now. Anyways, that was Nick. This is Tyler, and that was Casual Master Quest. And see you guys next week. But most importantly, don't forget to never stop the grind. We'll see you until next time.
Peace.
Bye-bye.